Hello everyone, welcome to Catherine's ESL classroom. In today's lesson, we are going to have a challenge quiz. Our challenge quiz will be on the sounds of ED, or how to pronounce ED. Some common ones are opened, wanted, and pushed. Did you notice the 3 different sounds? Do you remember from my last lesson? Well, let's get started and find out some more. So we'll do a nice review. As you'll see, there are 3 ways to pronounce ED. The deciding factor is the last consonant. The last consonant are here, all in white. Okay? So there are the 3 ways. This is pronounced enjoyed. It's just a D sound. It's not enjoyed, it's enjoyed. So repeat after me. Enjoyed. Needed, it's an ID sound. I is pronounced I, not E. It's need-id. Washed, this is a T sound. Washed. So if you notice, all the Y's, R, L, S, N, G, and Z end with a D sound. And so on over here with the ID sound and the T sound. Okay, so if you need to pause, just take a screenshot of this, or you can write them down to help you remember. Now, I wanted to go over this a little bit more before we do our challenge quiz. So you ever notice voice sounds? The voice sounds are the ones that we have our vocal cords. Our vocal cords are sounds that come out, and they produce a vibration or humming sound in the throat. So touch your throat to feel it. Okay, so these are voiced. The voiced ones are I, D, and D. You see, voiced and voiced. So put your hand or touch your throat to feel it. Wanted, wanted. You see how it vibrates or humming? Needed, needed. How about this one with the D sound? Called, cleaned, offered. You see how they vibrate or there's a humming sound? Well, those are voiced, okay? So the way you can remember it, if there's a T or a D, it's an ID sound. Remember, ID is id, not ed. Id, wanted, okay? Now you have the voiceless. If you notice the voiceless, there's no vibration, there's no humming. So it ends with a P. Helped. You see, there's no vibration. Helped. Look at this one. Looked. Looked. See, no vibration. How about this one? F, ending with an F. Sniffed. See, no vibration. So this is another good way to remember the words in the 3 ways to pronounce ED. Okay? So you can either write these down to copy, or you can take a picture. Okay? Now let's get started. Are you ready? Do you have your pen ready? Or are you just listening? You can just listen. This is sometimes the best way to learn. So are you ready for your challenge? Quiz. Are you ready? Set. Go. Now we're going to put the following verb, this is the verb, into the correct column below. These are columns, okay? So is this the present tense verb or is this past tense? Is this simple past tense or is this not? Which one? What kind of verb you think this is? So this is a regular verb because this ends with an ED. Remember the quiz on irregular where you had to memorize them? Well, these all end in ED, so they're regular, and that means they're past tense. They're simple past tense, and they're regular verbs, okay? So what does this word sound like to you? Guess. Think about it. Okay, do you remember from the review? Now, if you don't remember, just pause it and rewind, okay? So let's start. I want to just give you some practice. So I'm going to say the word and you say the word to yourself as well. Cooked, cooked. So what does this sound like? Now you're wondering, why are there 3 words here? Well, the 3 words are opened with the D sound, wanted with the ID sound, pushed with the T sound. So these words will always be here, and I want you to take the verb that is the regular verb in the past simple tense and put it in the correct column or the correct letter that it sounds like. So what would cooked sound like to you? Cooked. Okay, I gave you a lot of time. There won't be as much time for the next ones, okay? Did you get it? Cooked. We have many more practices, okay? Prepared. Repeat after me. Prepared. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Which one? Prepared, opened. Congratulations if you got it. Now let's do some more. Arrived, arrived. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Arrived. There you go. Did you get it? Now this one. Now you're going to think about how it sounds. Go back to the review sheet if you need to, okay? Looked, looked. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Sounds like pushed. Now let's repeat the word. Looked. Did you get it? Congratulations if you did. Waited, waited. Does it sound like opened with a D, wanted with an ID, or pushed with a T? Now I know a lot of people say pushed, but that's incorrect. It's pushed. So this is waited, waited. This was a tough one. Okay, it's not waited, it's not an eh, it's an I. Waited, I, not ed. Okay, so repeat, waited. See how my mouth turns into a circle? Waited. Now is there a vibration? Waited. Yes, there is. So it's voiced. Carried, carried. Which one? Now you say these words on your own, but I'll say them together. So you repeat after me. Opened, wanted, pushed. Carried, carried. This is a tough one. Carried, okay? Just have to practice. Carried. What about this one? How would you pronounce this word? Closed, closed. Opened, wanted, pushed. Let's see if you get it. Who picked the D and who picked the ID? Closed. Now the S sounds a little bit like a Z, okay? Closed. It's not closed, it's closed. Okay, that was a tough one. Did you get it? Congratulations if you did, because that was a little tough. How about this one? Played. Played. Put your finger on your throat. Played. Does it vibrate? Played. Opened. Played. Opened. Played. Loved. Loved. Opened, wanted, or pushed. Loved. It's a D, so the E is silent. So this would sound like L-U-V-D. Loved. I think that's why a lot of people write L-U-V, but it's L-O-V-E-D. Loved. Insisted. Does anyone know what this word means? Insisted. I insist that you come to my party. That means I really need you to come. I insist. Sometimes it means I demand you come to my party. But insisted is a little bit nicer. I insisted. Which does it sound like? Opened, wanted, or pushed? Insisted. Which one? Congratulations if you got it. Wanted, insisted. Repeat after me. You have to pronounce both S's. Put your finger by your throat. Insisted. Insisted. Okay? How many syllables is that? Insisted. 3. Okay? So practice this one. Now, how would you use this word? I insist that you come to my party. Or she insisted that you come to her party. Okay? Now, a lot of people say this wrong. A lot of people also say this right. So which one are you? How do you say this word? Talked. Talked. Do you say talked? Or do you say talked? Or do you say talk? I talk. That was a little funny, right? Talked. I talked to you. It's a T sound. So think of the word chalk. You know, when we use white chalk on the board? So this is a similar sound. Chalk, talked. So if you pronounce how you say chalk, then you can say talked. Okay? Rained. Rained. Which letter? Rained. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Rained. This is a tough one. It's a D sound. It's not rained, it's rained. How do you say this one? Invited. Invited. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Invited. ID. Are these getting easier or are they becoming harder? Now they become harder. Go back to the review, okay? And just practice them and learn about the voice and the voiceless, okay? Now voice means it vibrates, okay? Or it sounds like it's humming. You'll feel it moving in your throat. Wanted, invited. How about this one? Posted, posted. Does it sound like opened, wanted, or pushed? Posted. ID. Now these are always tricky, the D and the ID. So you really have to listen to the I sound. Now this is a short I sound. The long I sounds like an E. Okay? This is I, wanted, posted. Okay? Now a lot of people, when they say opened, they think it's an ID sound. But if you close your eyes, you can really hear there's no I here. It just sounds like a D. Close your eyes and think about it. Opened, opened. Now if you say it fast, it does sound like an ID. But if you close your eyes and pronounce each syllable, there's just 2 syllables. Opened, open. See, I'm going an N sound, and that's it. It's N and then D, opened. Okay, and this one, wanted, wanted, posted. Okay, so if you say it slower, then you'll hear the ID and you'll hear the D, and then you'll be able to tell the difference. Okay, did you get it? That was tough. Congratulations, who are doing amazing. But the ones that don't remember or having a difficult time, don't worry, just go back to the review and practice. You will get it, I promise. And practice with other people. Sometimes my best way is close your eyes and listen to how it sounds. Now, how do we pronounce this one? Helped, helped. Are you gonna get it? Helped. I gave it away. Helped. See? A lot of people say just helped. They think it's a D sound, but it's really a T sound. Helped. Did you get it? Congratulations if you did. Started. Started. Which one? ID sound. Listen again. Started. Now you repeat. Started. Congratulations if you got it. That was another tough one, but a little bit easier at the same time. You just have to really listen and put your fingers by your throat and see whether or not it is voiced or voiceless. Okay? Showed. Showed. Is it opened, wanted, or pushed sound? Showed. Did you get it? Not yet? One more time. Showed. It's the D sound. Showed. Crossed. Crossed. Which sound? Crossed. I crossed the road. I crossed the road to go to my friend's house. It's the T sound, crossed. It's not crossed. It's not a D sound. It's a T sound, crossed. This is a tough one. Maybe you get it. Are you going to get it? Answered. Answered. I answered the phone. The D sound, answered. Now you probably think it's ID. Close your eyes and listen to how it sounds. Answered, not answered, because if it was an ID sound, it would sound like this. Answered. It's answered, just a D, okay? I know they can get tricky. All right, let's see, what did you get? hated. Are you hating this test? Are you hating this challenge, or are you loving this challenge? Hated. ID sound. This was a little easy because you really have to pronunciate this one. Hated, hated, hated. Okay? Painted, painted. Which sound? ID, painted. Are they getting easier now? I bet they are. Well done. You finally finished your challenge. Congratulations. Well done. Until next time, leave me some comments. What did you think? And always use some sentences, and always remember the 3 sounds of ED. You got your T, you have your ID, and what's the other one? ED. Bye.